organization, I mean, like a human child has to learn to walk, has to learn to talk. I'm sure our organization went through that. I wasn't part of it then. But this is not about me. I mean, in the annals of our history,
Mm.
certainly those difficulties have been there, uh, and it is a memory of history for us, and something we would like to value. Gives us courage of conviction as well. Uh, but I think as of now, let me put it: we don't face great difficulties, given the kind of sort of spread we have, the grounded nature of relationships we have with social formations, with people's own organization, with communities group, it gives us a lot of moral courage, support, togetherness, solidarity, and fundamentally great strength.
Right.
So in that regard, even financial challenges we don't, because there's a microcosm of that support. ActionAid Association is one of the early organizations in this country. Back in 1998, we'd set up the corporate social responsibility law wasn't there.
Okay.
We'd set up our efforts to engage the corporate sector in a corporate accountability and responsibility framework. And we'd even set up an organization called Partners in Change to exclusively work with the company managements, corporate managements. Our strategy of the year 1995, I was part of it. It recognized that there were about 300 million middle classes at that point in time. I'm talking of 1995. I still remember the figures, and that we said that this is in India, which is growing, and this is a middle class which is growing, which has gone several fold from that 300 million of 1995, estimated in 1995. And it is in that year, 1996, 97, that we set up our idea of working with the corporate sector, working with that emerging middle class of India, uh, uh, conscientizing them, engaging them in solidarity for the cause of the masses of this country. Some causes are very difficult for middle classes to align with, but many causes are not so difficult for middle classes to align with. For instance, COVID brought out a lot of support from the middle classes onto the question of workers, which probably wouldn't have been so
Right.
visible in an earlier time. So that's what ActionAid did in the 90s, late 90s. So the Partners in Change was set out as a separate by now registered as a separate organization, which focuses on the corporate sector. We've had a CSR policy or an engagement policy with the corporates for a long time now. So that's what I was trying to share with you. More recently, let me give you an instance. I was telling you that we reached out with a range of food support
Yeah.
to, to lakhs of people, 77 approximately to
Yeah.
our count across the states, and a lot of it. Let me put it that about 70 to 75% of it comes from a range of corporate supporters. So it's not just one company or another company; it's a range of companies, big, small, public sector, private sector, and that gives you hope and faith in terms of the spirit in of partnerships that we. So let me put it in the positive. Of course, there are challenges.
Mm.
We still hope that many of these social justice quests. I was giving you the example of "Ye Kahani Badalni Hai."
Right.
The gender justice, for instance,
Mm.
women's property rights, for instance,
Mm.
rights of workers, for instance, yeah, social protection for informal workers, for instance. We are hoping and we are appealing using your medium to the corporate formations and who supported us and have been supporting us and have we have been critically engaging with them critically and constructively.
Mm.
We are hoping that that support will be forthcoming in a greater measure because that's the growing part of India. Yeah?
Yeah.
And there is a large part of India and also growing, by the way,
Mm.
because of the rise of inequality over these years across in India and globally. Is growing precarity of majorities of our country. So we are hoping that in that quest of social and ecological justice, the corporate formations will join us. And Uh, the one other challenge we will considerably face, will always face. We are a large country, so how much do individuals? We are seeking support from individuals, whatever little, 100 rupees or a 200 rupees or a 700 rupees in this quest. So it's not just the money, yeah, to which we are all accountable, and we will be accountable. We
Yes.
pride ourselves in our accountability, or try best levels of accountability. But in whatever levels, they are able to bring solidarity to that purpose,
Mm,
for the quest for an equal India, um, for the quest for a just India, which I think is all of us in this country, yeah, dream of, yeah, means more than financial support. It does mean them to come and support financially whoever they want, directly, social organizations, other instruments. There are several instruments to change, of which we are one. Uh,
mm,
but also, more than just financial support. Yeah, it's more than just economic redistribution. It's also the solidarity. It's also that will to bring about change.